Hey YouTube, it's Marita and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And in this edition, we're actually going to talk about who was my inspiration in nursing and beyond. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, to know who my inspiration was to become a registered nurse and beyond, then definitely stay tuned. All right, we're going to jump right on in. This is going to be a really quick video. I just want to come on here and, people have told me, their inspirations for nursing and things like that, but I've never shared with you my inspiration for nursing. Now, when it came to becoming a nurse in general, I didn't have an inspiration for that other than the fact that I actually thought I would like to be a nurse. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you would have known that nursing is not my first love. Psychology is my first love. And I came to nursing because of the fact that I needed to take care of my girls as a single parent and I needed a career that I could do so and make a pretty stable life for my children. So that's why I came to nursing. But once I got into nursing, what actually inspired me to keep going? And so I'm sure that if any of you who are already nurses, or maybe even the nursing program as we speak on this video, there is somebody who may be within the program or some other nurse or somebody who really inspired you to become who you were. So I had this someone, and she was someone who was one of the hardest instructors that I've ever had. She was my OB instructor. And I've told people time and time again that the very course, which is OB, that almost took me completely out the program is the very course that I teach today in academia. So in case you didn't know, I'm Dr. Marita P. I'm a registered nurse, OBGYN. Well, baby nursery is my specialty. I am a nurse educator. I am also a nurse mentor. I'm doctorally prepared, and I work at an HBCU. So with that being said, who was my inspiration and how did I even get here to this doctoral journey? So if you know my story yet again, I did not come from well-off parents. I didn't come from doctors or nurses in my family. I'm actually one of the only nurses in my family. I'm actually one of the only people in my family who is doctorally prepared. I am a first-generation college graduate. So there you have it. I didn't come from a silver spoon. I didn't come from anything like that. But I did have people, once I got into nursing school, this one instructor, she was my OB instructor. And I knew I loved OB, but I was struggling in the course. That is the class, like I said, that almost took me off the program. I would have failed the program and been dropped out. But this is the one instructor who said, you're going to make it. And she was the hardest one on me. So I want to let you know, if you have an instructor that's very hard on you, that he or she truly means well, they're hard, they have a tough love kind of approach to you, they're not giving you the answers, they are wanting you to research everything. They're trying to make you become the best nurse that you can be. I want to tell you that anyone who is making it easy for you, anyone who's giving you the answers, anyone who's not challenging you, they're setting you up for failure. So yes, you may be getting straight A's. Yes, you may be, but are you prepared for the boards? Are they preparing you for nursing for what it really is? Some of the best instructors are the ones who are the most difficult. And I don't mean in terms of unprofessional. I don't mean in terms of just their demeanor, their personality. I mean, they truly care about you as a student, but they will not budge in giving you what you want. They are shaping you to become the best nurse that you can be. And this person right here that I'm talking about, she did exactly that. So I went to a PWI, so predominantly white institution, if you don't know what that means. And that basically means that the student body is predominantly white. Ethnic minorities is a minority, you're at minimum. When it comes to nursing school specifically, you're even more so, it's even less of you in nursing school. So I came in with a group of maybe 8 out of 80 nursing students that were minorities. And maybe of those, maybe 5 of us were Black, African American. So again, out of 80 students, 5 were African American. and the other 3 were some other ethnicity. So with that being said, we didn't really have, and I only had one instructor who was African American in nursing school. And believe it or not, she was instrumental in terms of representation, but she was not the one who pushed me to be the nurse that I am today. So I want to say that. You hear me talk about all these race relation videos in my channel, and make sure you take care of yourself. But I do want to say that everybody who does not look like you is against you. I will say that. A lot of them are, but every one of them is not. And this person right here has been instrumental. So let's take it back to nursing school. Back to 2005, I want to say. No, 2003. 2003. And I was in my OB rotation, and I was not doing so well in the class. I think I had failed a couple of tests, labor and delivery component. And she just took me by the side and says, you have to get this together. You know this material. You're going to do fine. You got to get it together. And I did. I passed the class with a B, believe it or not. I ended up coming out with a B. But that instructor hounded me and hounded me and hounded me. And when we were in clinical, she was my clinical instructor as well. So she was my course instructor. She did the pediatric rotation, and she also was my clinical instructor. So when we went to clinicals, I remember being in the nursery at this point in time. And I remember her saying, looking at the baby, we're looking at this baby, and the baby's feet and hands were purple. And I know that to be acrocyanosis right now. And I didn't, it was me and another student who was together, we were paired together. And I honestly didn't know what it was. It was on the tip of the tongue. Like I knew it was something, and I knew why. I just couldn't tell you what the actual term was. And so she was like, what is the term? And I need you to tell me right now. And this is in front of the other nurses. This is from the other nursing student. This is with the baby laying right there on the warmer. And I could not tell you anything. I just froze right then and there. And I walk out of there humiliated because I was like, I just don't know. I don't know. You put me on the spot. I don't know. She grabbed me. I had tears rolling at this point in time. She grabbed me and she said, you will be a great nurse, but you got to know how to be under pressure, because that's what nursing is. It's under pressure. And so now I want you to tell me what was going on with that baby. And eventually, with tears rolling, I'm like, acrocyanosis. I was not good under pressure. Nursing school does not prepare you for the pressure in the real world of nursing. She was trying to demonstrate that to me. I knew the material. I just couldn't come up with it at that moment, just like that. And so fast forward, I finished the program, I graduate or whatever. She friends me on Facebook eventually, okay? And I work for the same institution at that time. I work for the same place that I actually went to school at. That's just how our school was, that if you went to school there, they kind of brought you back to teach at the same school. So that's what we did. And as I was there, she said, it's time for you to get your master's degree. And I'm like, I'm not ready. I ain't trying to get no master's degree at this point in time. I really ain't. So these same videos I be telling y'all about going on past the bachelor's and stuff like that, I was with you. But somebody woke me up. She's the one, and she's Caucasian, mind you. She's the one who said to me, you need to represent minorities in nursing. And you will only do that if you keep going in nursing. I want you to get your master's degree. I said, well, let me think about it. And so I came back she actually about a month later, she came back to me and said, so did you think about it? And I said, yeah, but and that was after my first year of nursing. So this is like 2005 at this point in time. And so I was just like, I'm not really thinking, this nursing thing is not really what I thought it was going to be. I like being a nurse, I like being an OB nurse for this hospital thing. She said, well, you need to work on your next strategy, your next move. And the master's program, she said, we have a master's program, and I know education is what you like to do. If you go back to school, I have some money for you to go to school to get your master's degree. And I was like, money? So I can go for free? You best believe I went ahead and enrolled for that program. I wrote in that program. She was my advisor, my mentor, my inspiration, my everything. If I was going through something, she would say, nope, this is not what you need to do. Take a break. She really encouraged me to keep going. I'm a member of Sigma Theta Tau, which is the Honor Society for Nursing. She's the one who got me into that. She said to me, if you want to make a change, you have to be the change agent. That's what she said to me. If you want to make a change, you have to be the change agent. Now tell me how you're going to do that. So she takes me down our hall and we're looking at the composite pictures of the schools of nursing. So you have your graduating class of 2000 whatever. So 2019, 2020, you have your graduation classes on the wall. So she takes me through those pictures on the wall. She takes me back to when the first program was back in the 70s, I want to say, for the School of Nursing. And she said, show me, let's count from 1978, which is the year I was born, when they first started their first nursing program, to 2004, which is when I graduated. How many minorities did you see in that? And I don't remember the exact number, but it was far and few between. She said, this is where you come in at. So your picture is now on the composite. People are going to look at this picture right here and come back and say, oh, okay, there was somebody back in 2004. And if you keep going, you're going to have a master's, an MSN, credentials. And she said, you need to get your doctorate. Now, mind you, I had just started the master's program, so ain't nobody think about no doctorate at this point in time. I was pregnant during that degree, so I'm like, okay, I can't focus on anything beyond the master's right now. I knew education is what I wanted to do, and she was an educator, so she really pushed me in that. She really groomed me to be the educator that I am today, and I greatly appreciate her for that, because of the fact that she did not play. I couldn't use anything as an excuse. I don't care if you have 2 kids. I don't care if you're a single parent. I don't care what you got going on. This is what you're going to do, and you're going to do it well. She was like a second mother, a nursing mother to me, so to speak, that she didn't play. And I really took into her. And it got to the point that even my family, my brother, when I got inducted to Sigma Theta Tau, they came to the induction, and my brother and my sister knew how I spoke of this woman. And they said, I have to meet this woman. I have to meet this person. And I will never forget her for that. Fast forward, I finished my master's degree in 2008. In 2010, she comes to me and says, it's time for you to start the doctoral program. You need to get your DNP. I was like, I just finished this. And then at that point in time, in 2010, I had a 1-year-old. So I'm like, okay, there's no way that I'm going to be able to go back to school with a 1-year-old at this point in time. No, not interested, not going to do it. That lady, I won't say harassed because it wasn't harassment, but every time she saw me from 2010 to I think it was 2012, I was pregnant again because I just had my second son. So 2012, I'm pregnant, and she's just like, when you finish having babies, you need to go back to school. And that woman was dead serious. When you finish having babies, you need to go back to school. I said, I'm going to go back. I said, I think I do want to get my doctorate degree, because she kept on pushing it. And the thing is, she knew I was made for it. And so 2012 comes, I have the baby, and 2013 and 14 is here. She's like, you need to get that DNP. I said, I'm going to get it. I really am going to get it. I said, but at this point in time, I have a 3-year-old or 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. So one who just started kindergarten and a baby really. And I said, I really kind of got to wait till they get a little older. I need my baby to be in kindergarten. She said, okay, kindergarten it is. When will he start kindergarten? I said, he'll start kindergarten in 2017. Don't you know, in 2016, she said, it's time for you to start getting ready to prepare yourself for your doctoral program next year. She reminded me, like, I was going to do it. I really was. But she reminded me, and she was the one who was instrumental in making sure I needed whatever I needed. She, of course, was my reference, who did my references for me for the program. She, came well recommended. If I needed a job along the way, she got me connected with jobs. I'm telling you, she was my inspiration. Fast forward it's time to apply. She did my she did my reference for me. She did everything. She actually reviewed with me how to go over and do my interview for the program, for my spot in the program. And needless to say, I got, in the program. Here we are. Fast forward, as the time went on for the doctoral program, I was still working at that same institution, and I would check in with her every so often. So this program is the worst. It is daunting. It's exhausting. She said, I know. She said, I know it's hard. She said, but you got it. Remember what I told you. In order to elevate the plane of nursing, people who look like you need to see you did it. They need to hear your story from the fact that you were a single parent to doctorally prepared. They need to see that. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get it together, because if you're in a doctoral program, it is one of those things where you want to give up every other day. You're quitting every other day. But she really instilled that process or progress in me that I needed to finish this program. So here we are, 2019, graduations in 2020 this year. And she was so rooting for, she helped me with all my preceptor hours. She connected me with all kinds of things. Needless to say, I did finish my program. She was coming to the graduation. However, because of COVID, there were some restrictions, so she could not come. But she watched it via, it was streamed online. And so she went to the website and she was just so proud. And so she said, let me be the first to introduce you as, Dr. Marita Pace Newburn. And so when she did that, oh my gosh, just tears and tears and tears. Because you have to understand, I started that program. I started nursing school in 2002. And she met me in 2003. And she has been in my corner since 2003. So she watched me get that BSN. She watched me get that MSN. And through online streaming services, she watched me get my DMP. She is my inspiration because of the fact that she would not let me give up. She is my inspiration because of the fact that she was the hardest instructor that I had. And because of her, I'm who I am because of her. And some people find me to be very difficult, which I am. I'm probably the hardest instructor that school has ever had. Because at the end of the day, I don't play when it comes to nursing, because you about to take care of people in their lives. So I need you to know how to take care of people. And that's what she did for me. She didn't sugarcoat nothing. She didn't play. You either pass or you fail. If you're trying, she's going to work with you. If you're not trying, she's not going to waste her time. That's the same way I am. But she is my inspiration. She is truly the person that's the reason why I become who I am today. She is probably about 72 years old now. She's 72. And I'm only 42. So she's, 30 years older than I am. And she would talk to me about race relations back in the day. She would talk to me about the fact that, she never saw race or I wouldn't say she never saw color. We always use that cliche, I don't see color. We all can see color clearly. Okay. If you can see color. But she was the one person who had no agenda with me. She didn't know me. She had no agenda. She didn't get anything for pushing me through school. She didn't do anything but inspire me to be who I am. Again, like I told you, I'm a first generation college graduate. My mom nor my dad had a high school diploma even. Neither had a high school diploma. I'm the first out of 5 children. I'm the youngest out of 5 children who has a master's, let alone a doctoral degree. The first in my family who has, and I mean, when I say family, I mean both sides, mom's side and dad's side. I mean, first, second, and third cousins, aunties, uncles, everybody, the only one who has a doctoral degree. It's because she pushed me. Now, mind you, my first inspiration was my mother. Let's not forget about her, okay? She was the one who said, you can be anything that you want to be. And if she was living here today, she'd be so proud of the fact that I actually she would say, you became the doctor that you wanted to be. I wanted to be a pediatrician in 5th grade. So she'd be so proud to know I became the doctor, however it ends up being, but I became that doctor. So I'm very proud of that as well. So my mother, of course, was my first inspiration. But once I got into the program, this particular professor was my true inspiration, because she literally took me by the hand and said, come on, you're going to do this. Crying half the time, but come on, you're going to do this. You're going to be successful. You have to show your children what being successful looks like. You have to show your children who may face adversity that their mother did it. You have to show your children that it can be done. So now that my children, and my oldest daughter is an adult now. My oldest daughter has just graduated from college herself at age 22 with 3 degrees. By the age of 22, 4 years, 3 degrees, by the age of 22. She tells me I'm her inspiration. No, she doesn't want to become a nurse, but that's not the point. I was very, very hard on my kids. I'm very hard on my kids, my boys too. My girls are adults. And they know I don't play. But I don't play because of the fact that I'm trying to be mean or hard. It's because I know how this world is, and I'm trying to shape them for what the world really is like. That's what that instructor did for me. Nursing is not easy. And if any of you who come to nursing thinking that it is, you're going to be sadly mistaken, and you'll be humbled by it. There's nothing easy about being a nurse. And she wanted to show that to me, and she did an excellent job doing that from that point on. So I just wanted to come and share with you my inspiration for becoming a nurse, besides of my other stories of why I'm here. But it truly sometimes takes that one person who says, you know what, you're going to be just fine. Now, you're crying the whole time, but you're going to be just fine. You didn't pass that test, but you're going to be just fine. Back when I was in school, you could not go to clinical until you had at least every clinical day, you had to have a 76 average before going to clinical. So if you just took a test yesterday and that test brought you below your 76, you didn't go to clinical the next day. So that's how stringent it was on my program. You had to be passing every time you went to clinical. And there were 2 days I did not pass. I wasn't passing because of a couple of tests. And as a result of that, if you missed more than 2, you were automatically out the class. You failed clinical, and therefore you failed the class. So I was on track to fail the class. And she said, you are not going to fail this class. So Dr. Davenport was her name. Is her name. She's still living. Sorry. She's still living. That is her name. And she took me by the hand and said, you will be the next person who's going to be an inspiration to somebody else. They may never tell you. Most people may even hate you, which I'm okay with that too. I'm not here for popularity. I'm not here to make friends. And she instilled that in me too. You're not an instructor to make friends. You have friends. You're not a professor. I'm not a professor. No, I am an associate professor. I'm not a full professor yet, but I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to do a job. And if I've done my job and you come out successful, then I did what I need to do. So I'm glad that she instilled that in me, because it's because of her you see Dr. Marita P. sitting here before you now. So I really want to say thank you to her. I've said thank you to her many, many times for me becoming who I am because of her. And I definitely appreciate her, that everybody's not bad. Everybody doesn't want to see you fail. And it only takes one person who can say you're going to be fine. And you trust that one person and they get you to where you need to be. So thank you so much for watching this video. She was my true inspiration outside of my mother. She was my true inspiration for becoming who I am today as Dr. Marita P. Definitely follow me on IG if you choose to. The handle will be somewhere on the page. And until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.